it's the people who were loud in their advocacy for uh, for the what the state and what the corporate elite were doing to the rest of us, the tyranny that they exercised unrestrainedly to a great extent during that era. You know, if you were with if that's where you stood, you know you could be totally based on everything, but if you went along with that shit, I'm not with you. And by the same token, you could be, just a flaming liberal, you know, uh, we need to trans everybody, don't assume my gender, uh, you know, LGBT, uh, and every other letter besides to the max, feminist, what have you. I'm being a little hyperbolic here, but you could be totally liberal, but if you actually courageously said, no, this is wrong, I'm not going along with this, this is bullshit, this is a scam, I'm not going to be bullied by these so-called experts, then then you're my kind of person. I can still, I can break bread with you. You're one of my kind. Like that issue alone. I think people uh, who resisted, uh, there's something so important about resisting that particular, uh, that particular egregious psyop. Much more egregious than Ukraine, uh, or really anything else, any other you know current thing that I can think of. Much more. I have realized that, and I don't know what I don't know what to conclude from that, but that it's like that tells me something very important about you. If you're not if you're going to actively if you're going to choose to actively resist when everybody is screaming at you that you're a bad person, if you don't just approve of the everything being shut down and uh, everybody having to stay 6 feet apart and all that gay shit, you know, and uh, and then everybody needs to get this whatever goo, whatever whatever uh, witchy brew they've cooked up in their labs. Everybody has to get this injected into your bloodstream, or else you're a bad person. Um, and you don't belong with you. You should be just expelled from civilization. Like Noam Chomsky and Gene Simmons and other vaxholes, as they've been called, have been recorded as saying, if you were against that, then that's in a way that's I'm not going to say it's all that matters, but it matters so much in telling me what caliber of person you are. It shows me that you're the kind of person uh, who's going to fight tyranny instead of uh, uh, you know strategically, opportunistically siding with tyranny, uh, in order to show what a good little boy or good little girl you are. That to me speaks volumes. And there hasn't been such a clarifying issue in my lifetime as that, so much as that. I mean, abortion is something being against abortion, being pro-life, that's something I feel very strongly about. But I don't know, like, if you're if you're if you don't see things the same way that I do, I think that I don't know. I find it easier to forgive as long as you're not like actually working uh, in an abortion clinic or something, or actively helping this terrible thing take place. But it seems like the people who were I don't know. Or maybe it's just maybe for me it's just become it's assumed a greater importance than it really has. But I don't think so. I really don't think so. So yeah, I mean, and I know I started out by talking about Richard Spencer, but now I've moved on to more important things. Um, you know, if it had broken, if like somehow in 2020 it had it had become a liberal cause celeb to be against the tyranny, against the lockdowns, against the forced masking, against the 6 feet apart mandates, if that had become a liberal thing instead of a conservative thing, I would have been. People think that, or some people just assume that if you were against all of that stuff, um, that you were just going along with, you're just a sheep who was going along with the all of the Jesus freaks in Middle America, you know. But I mean, that's what some people would just assume. But I can honestly say, if my fellow Jesus freaks in Middle America, if they had all been uh, like, okay, yeah, we got to do what we're told, and it had been liberals who had said, hell no, we're not doing this shit, then that wouldn't have mattered one single bit. I would still have responded the way that I did. It wasn't at all about just picking a side, being partisan, being choosing uh, like asking myself, what is my side uh, of the culture war think about this issue, and then becoming that. This was a visceral, from the gut uh, kind of thing for me. To me, it's when, uh, no pun intended, when the mask slipped and we saw the people who rule us for who they really are and what they're really capable of.